What's up guys, Hades here. So we're having a kill event on our server and I was getting to changing my builds and adapting and fixing things, and I want to give you a little bit of an update and give you a little bit of an update on the kind of the clickbait of this video is I'm currently rank 1. Is it gonna last? Absolutely not. This server is full of whales, but I want to give you some context. So my main is rounding out pretty well. I have a few small changes I do here and there, sometimes Fighting Master changes, sometimes Wine and Dine changes, and sometimes Chaos Storm changes. What really changed recently is the adaptations in my second and third, which have made me a little more potent on the arena. So first I have a Himiko carry, just being side assisted with some strong and powerful spells, which I've been a pretty big fan of. And then in my fire, I go with a very burst heavy abundant spirit woo build, and Alex just slamming down with an assembly charge. And you know, the fire team really does some work sometimes, but then sometimes the thunder team does some work. Now keep in mind the power is still low, the artifacts aren't gold, but sometimes these things just like don't matter. So let's dive into it. Okay, as you can see here, currently rank 1. A little bit on the lucky side. It's been about 3 hours or so, 2.5 hours. I did my first 10 hits and I was successful on all of them. I hit the middle or the top person, got rank 1, quickly got hit down to, I don't know, rank 3 or something. And then I got hit 4 times and I'm back to 1. So I want to go over a few of these replays to show you kind of the power of some of these teams I have and what I'm doing to continuously update them and improve them. So first of all, someone like Mao Mao, very strong. I'm using a 3-5 Thunder Dragon against an 8-8 fire, and this is a full fire. It's got a lot of the things you would want, mostly free to play skills and such, but you can see here Himiko really just pops off. 40 mil. It's really hard to deal with her, even though the power of this March is only, you know, 450k. Then of course you have to fight the main and it's just gonna get crushed, nothing you can do. And then main versus main, again, very happy with the result of my team, even against an 8-8 Holy Dragon. Now why am I allowed to do so much damage here? Well, there's a few reasons. One is a lot of Poseidons deny themselves 20 seconds of combat, where I am providing myself with combat because I have the blue energy regen artifact, which means I can attack early, attack first, get my executioner starting quickly, and still ramp up not quite as much as demonic, with just demonic instead of the double energy, right? So I don't have the Shadow Dragon or the Holy Dragon, which is much stronger. And of course, I'm using a Holy Immortal in an Earth team, so I don't get the 5 element boost. So I don't have all the advantages, but you can see Poseidon does plenty of damage even without those things, and you can see it here. Now moving on to the more interesting one, Pineapple has a very strong March. He's been experimenting quite a bit recently, and I want to go over some of these. Now you can see here, this is his main, I believe. It's a Shadow team with a Thunder Dragon, and it's quite powerful. However, I've been shutting it down pretty well. And you can see here that it's Poseidon versus Poseidon, but my team just does a little bit better in this context because Himiko puts a healer into the realm and I still have a healer available, and it's not a hard carry Himiko, so it doesn't threaten me the same way that others do when it's earth and more defensive. However, one of these reports is actually quite difficult, and I want to kind of go over that one. It's right here. You can see here I beat his main, or excuse me, I beat his fire, I beat the earth hybrid, and I take a little bit of damage here, and then he does beat me in this situation. And I do want to watch this one just to kind of go over why these things are happening. And you can see he was experimenting a bit with the skills, but there's some interesting things to be had here. I am a bit on the soft side 75% HP, but that's not going to make too much of a difference as my team is much stronger in this circumstance. He gets a lot of the early damage with the dragon. I'm down another 7 HP. I've barely even damaged him. My Zenobia goes around, but once Poseidon starts to go, you're gonna start to see that mine just went a little bit earlier and he's gonna go just a little bit faster. And what's funny is his Poseidon actually isn't synergizing with his own Himiko, because when mine's in the realm, he doesn't hit it. It's not on the battlefield, right? So he kind of hinders himself just a little bit. It becomes a pretty close match. But so yeah, in recap, I want everyone to make sure they know that they're following along and adapting their builds as they go through. I do not keep the same build very often, especially in a kill event. I am switching constantly. If I'm fighting something like a Loki or anything that's going to silence me like Shadow Dragons, I'm always using Fighting Master. There's a ton of value in just being able to attack. If I'm fighting things like hybrids, I usually switch to Blade Vortex because I'm not worried about being silenced or anything, but I can't switch to Battle Stance because if I'm just sitting there for 20 seconds doing nothing, Alex and Hannibal are going to wreck me. So I'm constantly switching through my main skills. I'm also switching things like Wine and Dine for Purification and Lifelink and things like this to get more value. And I'm also switching into things like Toxin Barrier here on my Chaos Storm. But the point is, make sure you're continuously growing your main to its maximum potential and then adapting your second and third to find value in these matchups, because they are going to find value. A lot of the new KVSK skills are putting in lots and lots of work. Abundant Spirit and Assembly Charge do a lot. Make sure you are finding as much value as you can in your builds. If you like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.